agent that's just insanely frustrated with your number getting flagged as spam likely and it's reducing your levels of profitability? Well, I've got a very special guest with us today. I've got Summer from ProspectBoss to kind of go over how you can fix this to keep some of the chances that you will have in your favor. You only have so many calls you can make, and if you come up as spam likely, it can really diminish your chance of success. So, Summer, thank you for joining with us today in this content. Summer, say hey.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
I appreciate you joining us. So many insurance agents are just extremely frustrated at their number getting flagged as spam likely. They don't even know what stir shaken is. They've never heard of it at all, and it's hurting them. And I
hmm
run a national agency with some of the most amazing agents selling life, Medicare, and annuities, face to face, and even in the telespace. And we use the phone a lot. And agents that partner at jasonfinalexpense.com, we understand that when you're flagged as spam likely, it reduces success pathways. What have you guys done at prospectboss.com to not only help agents, whether they're in insurance or real estate or just with their call volume, getting around this, spam likely issue? What have you guys seen and have you guys, found a solution here?
Yeah, so last year we realized that we were just getting a lot of complaints about our lead quality because they thought that the data, that they were getting from us was inherently just bad, or those people didn't want to be called. But it turns out the issue, we ended up tracking it back to their calls just being blocked. The SEC came out with Stir Shaken and it blocks calls based on certain algorithms. It really started at towards the end of last year, more so. And earlier this year, around the spring, we come up with a way to work around it, basically, just what we call like our Stir Shaken spam likely fix. And in addition to that, you can also register your number with a DID, and we register it with mobile carriers, the prominent ones, which would be like Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. Nothing is guaranteed, but it definitely does help you have less of a chance. We also have an outbound number purchase as well that you can do. It's a $3 number. We recommend getting at least five, but however many you want to get, that's up to you, just based on your needs, how many calls you're making. But this helps you rotate your numbers within the Prospect Boss system itself, so that just less likens the chance of you getting blocked as well. Just with all the call regulations, it's just a little bit easier to remain safe because you're not trying to, harass anyone. You're just trying to prospect into your job and make sales. So we're just trying to make it a little bit easier and have some workaround since we are a dialing system. If you're getting blocked, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. So we're just trying to like help the agent out and being able to make their calls come through.
Absolutely. And I know so many agents that, sometimes their number will work and then all of a sudden it doesn't work. And then they're going straight to voicemail, wondering why can't I get a ring? Is that maybe a problem that they're experiencing based on the stir shaken when that takes place? Like they're going straight to voicemail or not ringing through at all?
I think it was more so just no one picking up. I don't know if it even necessarily went to voicemail, just like kept ringing, kept ringing, kept ringing.
Okay, because I know a lot of agents get frustrated when their number goes spam likely and they didn't even realize that they were getting flagged.
Mhm.
And that can really diminish an agent's chance of getting financial success. So the fact that you've got this workaround, how does your workaround operate? So they get different numbers. Is it like an algorithm that you've somehow solved? What does an agent need to know on your kind of fix here?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
The algorithm, what have you done to fix this or shaken your solution? So they get a couple numbers from you. How does
Mhm.
that operate to get them around this?
Well, it's just like registering your phone number. It's like the
Hmm?
point. So if you know anything about like using phone numbers to send messages in general, if any like company uses a text message marketing company, which is like a lot of people do,
Right.
they get their number registered. So that's just essentially the same thing, like doing it with us. It's a different thing and like different kind of just messaging and calling companies use. So we just like have a way to register your number, and that helps you, less like in your chances because it's a little, it's not completely like unavoidable, but it's not going to show up as spam when you call someone if you do that, if it gets registered.
That's a huge thing that will elevate an agent. If you're going from spam likely to now a successful call that is reputable, this is going to help agents, especially if they're, certain agents will use a power dialer. I know you guys have a power dialer where it's a single line dialer. And then you guys also do a triple line dialer, correct?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And
We have 1, 3, and 4 at the moment. We are hoping to make a little bit of a change and maybe just do 1, 2, and 3, because the 4 line can be a little kind of almost a moot point because you may get blocked more likely if you use the 4. So we're just going to integrate to just taking away that one and then having it too. The timeline on that, not sure, but that's just kind of a heads up about the system just to be transparent. But yeah, we have the 1, 3, and 4 lines at the moment.
for an agent that doesn't know what a dialer is or what a dialer does, can you help educate them on what a single line dialer does, as well as like a triple line, just for the brand
Yeah.
new agent that's never used technology to their advantage?
Yes. So our single line, it doesn't come with as much of the marketing automation options,
Mhm.
but it's just a way to use a web-based solution to make more calls. You can run the calling campaigns, and it's a way to organize your calls better. So you're not having to use your phone to do it, or your, own phone number. We have a local presence option, and then you could just put on your headset like this, pull it up on the computer, and then you're like ready to rock and roll. With the 3 line dialer, we have more of the marketing automations with it, like email marketing, SMS all over the board. You do have to like purchase minutes from us for that, and that goes into SMS and video messages. But with a triple line dialer, the idea is to maximize your productivity or triple it, so you have 3 calls on the queue, or 3 people calling in the queue, and then it just filters out the busies and disconnects. So it's just gives it a couple rings for someone, and then if it doesn't go through, then they just like move on to the next person. So you're not having to hand dial and then like wait for the call and then make notes and then move on. It just kind of helps you filter through the system. It's really good for new agents, or if you just have like a lot of age leads that you need to run through and just make the most out of your time, basically. And then there's, calling campaigns, call recording. So it's just a very organized way. And it's on your web browser and you can see all the information there, prospects' names, and the calling is here. So it's just a more organized way of prospecting, basically.
Love that. And you guys have local presence. That's a big
Mhm.
advantage for an agent. So if an agent's working thousands of aged leads, I always say if you've got dated leads, for those of you watching, buy a dialer. All right. If you got fresh leads, you can use your fingers. You can use a single line, CRM and power dialer. Perfect. That's great. But when you got lots of leads, you want to put the stats in your favor to find success. And this is a way to do it for sure. So you got local presence. So if a caller, an agent, is calling Florida, and it'll pull up a local zip, like not zip code, but a local area code. Can you explain to our audience kind of how local calling presence works?
Yeah, so you would set the area code to where you want to call. I believe that whenever you get our system, you pick your area code that you want to have. But even if you're calling from like another town, at least it's like showing, an area code and it could show the sign. You could like, purchase additional numbers. So maybe you could do like change out your area code if you prospect a lot of, all over the states, or how it just really depends on like your needs and who you're prospecting and where from.
It's a huge advantage. I mean, they can purchase a couple extra, phone numbers for a couple bucks, and then now they can increase pickups because that's what it really is when it comes to prospecting. And you guys do such a great job over there. But when it comes to prospecting, it's all about the pickups. That's what
Mhm.
agents are wanting. That's what real estate agents are wanting. And it doesn't matter if you're doing Medicare. I know a lot of folks are gearing up for their Medicare campaigns, and it's just increasing pickups and local presence does help. If you're calling, my phone number with some weird area code that I don't recognize, I'm probably going to dump you to voicemail. And the
Mhm.
fact that you guys have that local presence, that's going to increase pickups for agents. That's huge.
Definitely. Yeah. It's the whole goal here, really, is to get someone to pick up those calls. So, yeah, that's definitely important.
It is awesome. I love the fact that you've kind of you've outrun the stir shake and, where you've created something where it, at least reduces the chance of spam likely being impacted.
Hmm.
Because using a triple line dialer, that does increase your, threat of a spam likely risk. Isn't that right? I mean, even
Yeah.
agents using their hands, hand dialing, you do a lot, you can get spam likely too. So it's not like people using their cell phones or a regular phone are exempt from this. Spam likely is a real thing. You want to register your number and do those things.
Yeah. And that's kind of the idea as well of having, that's why I came up with the idea of having the outbound numbers that you can rotate. Like I said, we recommend doing at least five, but that is just really based on your capacity and how many people and how many calls that you're making. So, do whatever is always works best for you. But that's also a good idea too, is to rotate the numbers, especially if you're making a lot of calls, maybe on certain days and just like filter those out. That way, that decreases the chance as well. Because we're all just about trying to protect you and make sure your calls are going through, because that's the whole point. So we're just trying to like maximize that ability, basically.
I love that. I mean, maximizing profitability is what agents want. That's what anybody that's prospecting, they want to put at least as much as they can in their favor because it's not the easiest thing to mind-numbingly prospect. And the fact that you guys have solutions to, get around the spam likely problem and increase, their proficiency, when they're dialing with your power dialer, solutions. That's
Mhm.
pretty neat. So, is there anything else that an agent or someone that's doing a lot of prospecting needs to know about your systems with this?
Uh, well, I mean, check our like our email, social medias. We always are trying to post best practices types of things. We talk to a lot of agents when we go to conferences and stuff, and when they give us calls on what their issues are. So we really try to be accommodating and make changes for the company like as a whole. We have, onboarding specialists. We do have a great tech support team as well. So I know with any types of software, doesn't matter how long you've been in the game, sometimes people have trouble with understanding it. So we really try to make our software with ease of use, and that way the agent can use it the best way possible. But
Awesome.
yeah,
So,
I mean, that's always said, just take advantage of like the resources we try to provide really as a whole.
well, I appreciate that. And how does an individual get in touch with you to be able to connect and get their call volume put in the right direction? How do they reach out and contact you? What's the best way?
Yeah, I would say our phone number, which is 1-800-662-4009. And then you could reach us at sales@prospectboss.com. We are very active on social media as well, like Facebook or Instagram. So if you had any troubles, want to send us a message there too, then yeah. But I would say our phone number is definitely the easiest way.
All right. Well, thank you for being on, Summer. I appreciate all you guys are doing for agents that are trying to put things in their favor and protect good people. So, prospectboss.com. I'll put the information down in the description as well. Summer, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.